I think the one thing that this whole summer has taught me is that if no one is going hard for you, make sure you're going hard for yourself. And, make sure you keep pushing yourself every single day. Keep trying to be better. Keep trying new things. Keep exploring who you are and what you do. And be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself, because at the end of the day, it's you and you. It's not me versus the world. It's me in the world, experiencing it for the first time, learning every single day, seeing what goes wrong, seeing what goes right, adapting, adjusting, finding out what brings me happiness, finding out what brings me to who I am. And it's a series of pulls back and forth of wanting to change and wanting to try new things, but wanting to be happy, wanting to be comfortable. But it happens where you are. And it doesn't happen unless you go after it and you give it all you got. I saw this quote and I can't stop thinking about it. It was talking about how, you're gonna die regardless. Time is gonna pass regardless. So why wouldn't you just go extremely hard for yourself? And why wouldn't you just put it all on you? It's ignoring what everyone else has to say. It's finding strength in your silence. Finding strength in who you are, and not allowing the negativity of the world to drag you down or to influence how you act or what you do. Being human is also about knowing that we're not always going to be the same person. It's constantly changing. Our ideas are constantly evolving. We change our beliefs, we change our morals, we change everything. It's about adapting, and it's about continuing to move forward and continuing to smile and watch as the world unfolds itself, and not trying to control everything and not trying to be somewhere you're not, but to just be here and be there for yourself. And that's what this summer's taught me is it's okay. I'm not in a rush, and I'm not trying to be anywhere where I'm not. I'm here today, and that's enough for me. And what we can do now is try our best. Can't control other people, can't control the weather, can't control the media. But what can I control? Oh, right now in this moment is what I can control. And every present moment is etching itself into the future. So what you do now is who you're going to become. We have to act accordingly. Not that we won't make mistakes, we will. I make mistakes all the time to this day, and I'm going to continue to make mistakes for the rest of my life. But it's about seeing the parts of yourself that are seeking out that change and truly trying to be better. And I have a difficult time with that, and I'm going to be honest, I have a difficult time being where I'm not sometimes. Sometimes you just want everything to fall into place, and I'm one of them, but amor fati, which is a love of fate, is our only response. We need to find things that make us feel immersed in our own lives and that bring us meaning and purpose, and we can make better decisions. And at the end of the day, if you can do all those things, your life will keep improving a little bit day by day. And that's what I found in my own life, and my own consistency, is the fact that before I go to bed, I ask myself, did I do enough today? Did I get after it today? And it's almost always yes. And I feel better because I've done that every single day for the last couple of years. And I can feel myself getting better, and I can feel myself getting stronger mentally. Again, far from perfect. I make mistakes. I can lash out. I can be upset about things. That's okay. But it's about recognizing that, and it's about doing our best to change. Do the best you can with what you have, and be your best self so that you can be your best self for other people. So I think that's the message for today, is just to relax. Things will happen as they happen, and if you just keep making the right decisions and you keep on forming good habits, being kind with yourself, being kind with the world around you, You know, understanding that everyone's kind of got their own way of going about things, and you too. And then putting more focus on yourself. Like, when's the last time you went out and walked alone and just left the AirPods at home, left everything, and just talked to yourself? I remember I used to do that pretty much every single day. It's a little less now, but I make sure to have moments with myself where I'm one-on-one, and it always makes me feel happy, and it always makes me a little calmer, because when you can learn to reassure yourself and to be there for yourself, you realize that you don't necessarily need anyone else in your life. Like, yeah, obviously have relationships and have friends and have family and talk to people, but you know, you need to be comfortable having that inner dialogue with yourself, because sometimes it's just you. And are you going to panic, or are you going to resort to listening to your music when you're faced alone? No, we got to learn to speak to ourselves. We got to learn to understand who we are, and to understand where we're coming from, and to act accordingly, you know. Different journeys for everyone, different paths for everyone, myself included. I've kind of figured out a little bit, I guess, of what I need to do on a daily basis to bring me to a level of growth, but change is person to person, and it takes you getting to know yourself. And it takes you getting familiar with who you are. And it gets you being familiar with your internal dialogue and learning what sets you off and what triggers you and what makes you happy and what makes you laugh, and finding things for yourself, you know, finding things to do. You know, going to the gym if that's your thing, going for walks if that's your thing, reading a book if that's your thing, drawing, expressing yourself in ways, and just being present, and, you know, doing the most with the space you occupy, and using the space you occupy, and knowing that that's life. So it's my message for today. And it's been a while since a video, but I just wanted to come on here and say that.